Australia's inflation remains uncomfortably high. Earlier today, the AUD released its CPI for the month of July, the trend mean CPI, the CPI year on year, and also the CPI month to month, and they all beat market forecast. You're welcome to Wall Street Niger FVG. I go by the name of Mashallah Bemigo Ofuya, the macro translator, as you already know. This is another Forex market breakdown. Let's get into it. What does this mean in terms of inflation and core inflation? Headline inflation still remains elevated. Core inflation still remains high. Prices of goods in the economy still remains high. Spending still remains high. And also the demand in the economy remains high. Although the Reserve Bank of Australia, started hiking rates to try to cool and absorb that demand in the economy. But what we're seeing is that the demand in the economy, the spending in the economy still remains resilient, still remains strong. The market is already pricing another 25 basis interest rate hike from the Reserve Bank of Australia, considering the fact that inflationary pressures still remain in the economy. What does this mean for the Australian dollar? I think we are likely to see a stronger Australian dollar until the end of the year going into next, unless we get a situation with inflation reports for the month of August, September, and October showing a strong cooling in the economy. The Australian economy still remains resilient, still remains in a strong place. The manufacturing productivity and inflation expectations remain elevated. This is also the reason why I created the one-on-one currency consultation. This is not about signals. This is not about selling courses. This is all about you and I having a conversation about the macroeconomic factors, from the GDP to inflation to core inflation to labor market data to wages and everything that has to do with the economy that influence prices on the charts. So if this is something that interests you as a trader and you would like to have clarity on the bigger picture in terms of interest rates, central bank monetary policy decisions, you could book a 1-hour currency consultation. We could talk about it and we could outline these macroeconomic indicators towards the strategy that you already use in the market. Until I come your way next time, what we have is a strong Australian dollar, and I wish you the best, and I hope that your week has been productive. Cheers.